Alright, here we go. First attempt at a recording. I'm currently flying out on the Sicily map, flying the British. Of course, I had just got a message to my team about not climbing, and apparently some of them were off to the side over there, as you can see. You run into a lot with the American and British teams. You'll notice, we have 2 or 3 B-17s, and just not a lot of fighters that actually climb. And when you're going up against the Germany, or especially Germany, you need to climb, because their number one advantage is altitude, and they can boom and send me all day long. Even though I am in a really good turn fighting plane, I still am going to climb to try to force them down or drag them down to a lower altitude where they're not as effective. Especially some of the TALs and some of the D10s and D13s and D9s and D12s that you'll be seeing sometimes around this battle rating of 5.3 to 6.0. So at this point here, I've got some pretty good altitude. I'm closing in on 6K, and I'm basically trying to intercept the flight path of the German players. And you'll notice there on the map that's usually the direction they climb in. And so I'm trying to intercept and get above any of those fighters and force them down or catch someone AFK climbing. Just trying to look around here and see what I can spot. So I'm happy with my altitude here. I'm over 6K. I'm just kind of leveling off. I see a dot. So let's go investigate this and check it out. And sure enough, got one on me. But the problem is at this point is I am by myself. Nobody else climbed in this direction. I have one other teammate that kind of made it a little this way, and you'll see him right there, their Spitfire. But he's not up here at altitude to really help me. So I'm just going to follow this 109 and see what he wants to do here. Are you dreaming, buddy? My little dog's taking a nap and dreaming. Alright, so I'm just kind of chasing this guy, just forcing him to either come back and get in an engagement with me. I don't want to leave him alone, and be allowed to get above the rest of my team, because one or two of these German players that are smart, if they stay above the enemy team, especially our Mustangs and stuff, if they get down low, they can do a lot of damage. And I'm noticing here he seems to have been dragging me for this 190, but I am in the sun. And I know these guys aren't squatted up, so what I'm trying to do is just determine what that 190 is doing. Then I notice there is another TAL right there. Okay, so there is a squad of I think 4 players in the enemy team. That 171. So let's see, the TAL doesn't seem to be coming this direction at the moment. Let's see what this 109 is going to do. So look pretty clear to make an engagement, and I'm slowly closing in on him. And sure enough, he must have called for help, or the TAL had spotted me. And now I have got 2 TAL 152s up at altitude, which they performed very well at. And this 109, who looks to be trying to zoom climb up, give his teammate a shot on me, but I'm just going to maintain course and maintain speed, and the TAL passes underneath. I'm not going to take that bait. I'll stay on the 109, because the TAL will have to turn around to come and engage me, which will slow him down. So let's go ahead and see if I can't pop up a shot here. I'm coming in pretty close to gun range. I'm set at 400 meters conversion. Let's take a couple of shots. Got a hit. Turns. Of course, I can't tell where I'm shooting because of the rounds. And there we go, finish him off. And now I've got another 109 up at altitude, and that's the squad I was telling you about. I think there's like 4 of them in this match. God, this plane wobbles. So let's go ahead and see if I can't drag these guys over to some of my teammates that are at altitude. See if maybe they can give me a hand here. That's the only disadvantage I hate about the Hispanos. The air target rounds are really good. I mean, God, they tear stuff up really, really well. But I don't know if it's just me or if it's being on a PS4. I have a very hard time aiming because I'm using a controller as well. But that's probably just excuses. But I'm sure if I flew the British tree a lot more in realistic, I'd get pretty used to where the guns aim. I'm pretty good with the Germans and the 151s and those 20 mils. I've played them enough in realistic that I understand where they shoot. But I just messaged my team, let them know I'm dragging 2 players, and trying to see if this tall will give chase. Which he could have caught me. Those planes are extremely fast. If he would have dove, he could have caught me. Notice I uploaded a video the other day where I'd taken that out, like the first or second time I'd ever taken that tall out, and I was really surprised at how well that plane dives and the speed that it picks up. So none of my teammates at the moment seem to want to be helping, so I'm just going to continue flying. See what this guy wants to do. I'm actually pushing back for altitude now. I got some separation from him, and see if I can isolate him from the rest of his team and deal with him. And I was really surprised with this squad that you're going to notice the wobble here. Good God. It's like, hello, come shoot me. I'm wobbling out of control. But here he comes. He's now coming to engage, so I'm not going to go head on with the thaw at all. And so just do a little evasive maneuver and turn and get on his 6. From that dive, he's got a lot of speed, and of course I just made a complete 360 turn back towards him, and then now back towards him again, so I'm definitely have lost a lot of my advantage in speed, and he is now dragging his other teammate. Now if these guys had been really playing well together, they would have stayed a little closer together, and I think they could have probably had this game. Because they had the altitude, they took the time to climb, they just got separated doing their own things. I've ran into a bad habit of doing that when I fly out with Jim. Sometimes I'll get fixated on a target, and the next thing I know, I'm down to, 500 meters off the deck, and Jim's still sitting up there at 4 or 5K, and I'm like, oh crap. Now I got to try to climb back up to him. So the lesson you can take from here is he's definitely coming to try to help him. I'm catching the thaw. I'm cooking my engine a little bit right now, but I'm okay. This thing cools down really well, and I'm at an altitude, so if they'd have stayed a lot closer together, I really think that they could have killed me and done a lot better performing together as a squad versus, oh, okay, I'm 5-6K away from you, I'm coming to help, but he just doesn't have the speed to get to me. So the tall is having to go evasive because he notices I'm catching him. I start pursuing a little bit, then I'm like, I'm going to level off and see what this guy's going to do. And if he goes down to the deck, I'm okay with that. I'm fine. I'll turn around and engage his teammate as long as he gives up his altitude and gets out of here. But I'm going to go ahead and turn with him just to see if he's going to come back up. And sure enough, he does. I think all he had to done is just dive out and climb back, off to the side. But instead, he engages in a turn point. I don't know why. And I put guns on and take off his right wing. And finally, his friend shows up. Of course, I'm wobbling again, pulling massive G's here. But I'm trying to get back around so I don't give him a shot, which I avoid. And now I'm turning to engage him, which of course you can see I am just wobbling like crazy, trying to get back around on him. And of course I've given up some altitude. I've gone from 7,000 meters down to 4,000, and this guy has a lot of speed because he just made a dive on me, and I had to go evasive. And I'm trying to call him out to my teammates, and then at the last second I notice one of the other teammates of his come in and should have killed me. But I have lost a lot of speed here, and I shouldn't be alive right now. So at this point, I'm like, I need to get out of here. I have lost any advantage I have, whether it's altitude or speed. And the only advantage I do have is in turning capabilities, but against 2 players, especially 2 squad mates, I know I'm not going to live long. So my only hope is to drag these guys down to my teammates. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to watch my speed here so I don't rip. I don't know if they've fixed the flight model of the Spitfires, but I don't remember being able to pull this kind of speed in these Gs and these things without ripping it. And I had a match or two last week where we could not get the Spitfires to rip, and we were pulling some crazy split SG maneuvers, and they were just not ripping. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to take them out and see if I can't figure out what's going on. I wanted to pursue the 109 here, but I don't, because my teammate's by himself up here with this other TAW as P51, and he gets the kill. Very nice kill. So now I'm going to go back to pursuing the 109, who has just given up any advantage he had in this game. And he is currently on a beeline for our B-17 to try to get a free kill. Now, there are a few guys left, and at this point, I'm going to go ahead and come on down to the rest of my team. We have 1 player still alive, but I'm just going to go ahead and pursue this guy and see if maybe there's more players down here. And of course the P-51s are shooting my full boxes, which is what they were made for. And I don't know how our team did not get destroyed. Because most of our team was, climbed off to the side a little bit, and then once they seen the first couple players, they all dove and get a lower altitude. And that's another lesson I really had to break myself from, is not diving on the first 2 or 3, 4 guys I see. Sometimes when I fly the American planes, I almost have to, because of the fact that my whole team's down there. If I don't get down and help, they're all going to be dead, and here I'm going to be the only player up at 5,000-6,000 meters, and what good am I up there? Maybe I can take out 1 or 2 planes. So I'm now down, trying to engage this 109F, which is very maneuverable right now. Don't want to take that. That would put me into the ground as soon as I reset. And I should have had him right there. I should have popped off a shot, but as you can see, I was still in the compression, still in the G-lock. Which, by the way, I'm excited about the new, stamina coming up with the G's. And see if I can get a shot. Boom, crit, knocked off his elevator. He's down. That's a kill. Nicely done. And then the good old American teammate decides to shoot me in the ass with 50 cows. Why? I have no idea. There was no hit on him, no critical. I did not still kill. What a dick.
Well done.
Wow. I could see it maybe if I was flying out on a Russian team or something. I don't know if I've had that happen. But there's just no excuse for that. God damn, man. 3 kills. And this sorry little player here that only could kill AI planes is apparently a little pissed off. Well, guys, that pretty much does it for the video. My teammates do go on to revenge me and shoot his ass down. But I do want to thank everybody for coming over from Jim's channel that has. I really enjoy flying out with him. He's taught me a lot about flying. And I want to appreciate the guys that have come over and viewed my channel. Hope this first commentary went well. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. Fucker with his smoke on. Look at that. Come on, someone shoot his ass. Get him! Oh, fuck you, bitch. Hell yes. Watching you go down. Thanks, guys.